the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Breaking news tonight on DC News Now at 9. A grandmother killed, her daughter and granddaughter now charged in her murder. The latest in a live report outside the home where the woman's body was found. And 2 shot, including the suspect, after 3 reported carjackings. The maze that local police are pouring over tonight about these attacks. And cooling off while saving cash, we are stretching your dollar on AC units and utility assistance as our neighbors try to beat that heat.
And I tell you what, that heat is going away quickly as a front's dropping in from the north. We'll talk about the latest radar, what's out there, and what to expect for your Sunday. That's all coming up with my full forecast.
God, thank you, and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Ben Dennis. Breaking news tonight. Shock in one Prince George's County neighborhood after a 71-year-old woman was killed in Landover, Maryland. Investigators say that 2 family members are now charged in her murder. Dave Laval joins us live from the scene along Hill Road. Dave, the shocking part of this is it appears the victim knew the suspects quite well.
Good evening, Ben. And yeah, people who knew Margaret Craig told me off camera she was a nice lady and would take time out to talk to you if she saw you. They're now stunned and shocked to hear the people accused of Craig's death are her daughter and granddaughter. Prince George's County Police believe 44-year-old Candace Craig killed her mother, 71-year-old Margaret Craig, back on May 23rd. The following day, her daughter, 19-year-old Celia Hardy, is said to have helped her mother try to get rid of the remains. Officers responded to Craig's home along Hill Road Friday for a welfare check. Police said they received a 911 call from someone who had not heard from Craig for several days. Investigators told us Candace Craig answered the door and allowed the officers in the home. They smelled something decomposing when they went to the basement and found the remains. Craig is charged with first and second-degree murder, while Hardy is charged with accessory after the fact. Both remain in the custody of the Corrections Department. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner is working to confirm the victim's identity, along with the cause of death. Investigators are still trying to determine a motive. Neighbors told us they never saw any problems with the family. Police ask you call them if you have any information, or you may call Crime Solvers if you wish to remain anonymous. We're live in Landover. Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Thank you, Dave. Live on scene tonight. We also have breaking news into our newsroom, also in Prince George's County. 2 separate carjacking victims shot, and the suspect is now in custody. Just after 6 p.m., Hyattsville police say they found the suspect of 2 shootings near Driscoll Park. They say that they were first notified about a crashed car that was stolen on Hamilton Street before attempted carjackings in Driscoll Park and 36th Avenue. We're told 2 victims were shot at those locations. The suspect was also shot during the second attempted carjacking. Unclear tonight who shot the suspect. All were transported to a local hospital, and police say they will share more information when it's available. And in Northern Virginia, busy I-95 was shut down in both directions this afternoon after wires fell onto the interstate power lines. Look at the gridlock here at the Fairfax County Parkway. Crews alerted us about the issue at 2 this afternoon, and we're told lanes opened 2 hours later. Significant delay. DC News Now photographer Jack Barbish captured those recovered lines nearby. It's unknown how the wires came down to begin with. In small cages, feces on the floor, and disease all around. That's the scene painted by investigators looking into what happened, what went wrong at an animal rescue center. Now the people in charge are facing potential criminal penalties. Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Max Marcilla has the latest on this investigation.
We had dogs stacked up in crates. There were feces everywhere covering the floors. The kennels had no bedding, no water, no food inside them. It was overall a completely unacceptable situation.
This is what investigators saw when they were tipped off to potential animal cruelty happening at the Luck of the Irish Animal Rescue in Round Hill. And now the group's top 3 employees are all facing charges.
It was a clear situation of animal hoarding under the guise of rescue.
One of the animals seized is Aurora, this sassy cat who couldn't stay away from or off of our camera during our interview with Nina Stively. She's the county's animal services director. Stively says the group, formerly known as the Paw and Hoof Animal Rescue, was taking animals from at least 5 other states and bringing them to shelters or adopting them out without sharing accurate information.
They were animals that appear to have been knowingly brought across state lines with contagious disease. A dog who'd killed another dog was brought into their rescue and then brought to a shelter claiming to be a stray, not sharing his history.
Tonight, Stively has this advice for future animal adopters.
Just check them out on the Department of Agriculture website. You can just look up right there whether or not a rescue is registered, which is required by law. In this case, they were not.
Now, the executive director of Luck of the Irish Animal Rescue is now facing 7 counts of animal cruelty. Court records have already dissolved the organization. Courts rather have dissolved the organization and barred the executive director from working with another animal-related organization for a whole year. And developing out of the district this evening, 3 adults are out of a home after a fire earlier today. DC Fire and EMS arrived at the home on 42nd Place in Northeast right around noon. When they got there, the fire had spread to the attic. You can see first responders on the roof there. All 3 adult residents in the home were evacuated with no injuries, thankfully, and the fire was put out shortly before 1 this afternoon. The cause has not been shared. And happening this weekend, if you ride the orange and silver lines on Metro, heads up. Starting today, 4 stations will be completely closed, and they're staying that way until the end of the month. 4 stations: Vienna, Dunloring, West Falls Church, and East Falls Church, all in Virginia. Metro says crews will be replacing track that's been there for 40 years. But Metro says they still have bus service to each of those closed sites. And if the changes are set to throw a wrench in your commute, Metro says the best way to find your new route to work is to use Metro's trip planner. Just type in your start point and your destination on their website. It will calculate the quickest way to get there. And a case of measles has been confirmed in Montgomery County. County and Maryland state health officials urge people who may have been exposed to look out for symptoms. DC News Now's Tosin Fakile has more on what people really need to know if they've been exposed and what to look out for.
Because measles is a contagious disease, health officials are getting the word out so people can look out for symptoms, specifically people who haven't been vaccinated against measles. Now, health officials say measles is a vaccine-preventable viral infection that spreads easily through coughing, sneezing, and secretions from the mouth in people who are not vaccinated against the disease. Officials say pregnant women, infants less than a year old, and those who are immune compromised are most at risk of complications from measles. Now, obviously, they can't release any information on the Montgomery County residents with the disease, but officials say anyone who visited these 2 places, the Cabin John Ice Rink on Westlake Drive in Bethesda on Wednesday, May 24th between 6 and 9 p.m., and a professional office building located at 16220 Frederick Road in Gaithersburg on May 30th between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. may have been exposed to measles. Officials are especially urging people who are not vaccinated against measles who were at either of these locations during the possible exposure times. They're asking them to monitor themselves for any early symptoms of measles, especially fever. So here's some things to look out for. Now, measles symptoms usually start 10 to 14 days after exposure to the virus, but symptoms can develop as soon as 7 days and as long as 21 days after exposure. Look for fever more than 100 degrees Fahrenheit, runny nose, cough, red and watery eyes, and they say usually 1 to 4 days after the early symptoms, a red rash appears on the face and spreads to the rest of the body. Now, a person with measles is contagious 4 days before the rash appears, and officials say people should call their doctor about their symptoms before showing up in the waiting room at the doctor's office. Now, this is the first case of measles in Montgomery County, officials say, since 2019. Back then, there were 5 confirmed cases. You can find more information on this case and learn more on our website, dcnewsnow.com. In the studio, I'm Tosin Fakile for DC News Now.
All right, take a look at our radar scope, and you can see some showers coming in, continuing from the north, and that's due to where the front is coming from. And so we're seeing a backdoor cold front, as we like to call it, coming from Pennsylvania. Still have some showers out towards places of West Virginia, in towards Grant County, and then moving south of there. There is some lightning associated with that, but what I'm really looking at in particular is this cell that's moving south of Harrisburg, pretty much riding the I-15 corridor, which would take you all the way down into Frederick. Now, it has weakened quite a bit. As a matter of fact, the hail core, which was at 1.90 or 80%, has dropped, and it dropped below 20%. So the actual storm obviously has weakened. There's not as many lightning strikes associated with it as well. But where will this continue to go? So let's take a look at that. And our future tracker picks up on that storm, continuing to drift off to the south and the west, probably glancing the northern Frederick County and Maryland vicinity. Scooting by Waynesboro and then moving in towards Washington County, closer towards Hagerstown's area. So as a result, I did a live camera look here at the Westview Promenade in Frederick, Maryland, to see what's going on. Yes, it is a bit breezy out there, but right now there are no storms to speak of in that area. However, a couple of showers or thunder showers are possible around the midnight hour, or even extending beyond that into the wee hours of the morning. But by 6 a.m., cloudy skies will be seen. And tomorrow morning at Walk Fido, 50s. Cloudy and dry, but the winds will continue to talk and howl at some points. We'll talk about that in just a few.
And I've got to pass it home. Howl indeed. Thank you, Scott. Heading over to the district where people were calling for solutions to a problem they say is getting out of control. Violence among teenagers. Yesterday, teens who have seen this violence firsthand attended a Stop the Youth Violence rally and in Freedom Plaza. Some who talked to DC News Now said they had friends who had been arrested, shot, or even killed. So far this year, 8 people under the age of 18 have been killed by guns in DC. Meantime, the number of shootings so far this year is now double the number at the same time last year. One 16-year-old said to shift the focus beyond what government officials need to do.
Generally, I do think that the violence is just out of control in general, right? When it comes to DC and when it comes to the world, some things I think that we can do to help is be honest, be genuine, and try to actually care for our community.
And turning now in Frederick, the unofficial start to summer means festivals, carnivals, and more outdoor events. They're in full swing. An annual cultural festival today turned out families of all ages, and our Renee Simmons was right there on the ground.
I love summer, my favorite time of year.
Celebration in Frederick for the 5th Thai Water Festival, marking the beginning of the traditional Thai New Year known as Sangkra. Events like these bring out crowds for the summer weather at Carroll Creek Park. The Thai Water Festival is one of the biggest holidays in Thailand, and local crowds learn more about the culture and practices that Asian country has. Elizabeth Chung heads the Asian American Center of Frederick. She says food is the main star of this festival.
That brings us back to when we were little. You know, that's what we do. So of course we have the barbecue with the chicken. We have pork. It's just flavor.
Foods like fried mussel pancakes and coconut pudding balls created by vendor Nina Rowe brings back the homesick feeling of Thailand in the past hot summer days.
Oh, I love summer. I can do garden and do it's like I miss my hometown. It's always like hot, very hot. I'm just don't like be cold here, and I'm just love summer here.
A New Frederick resident, Kurt Palmer, says during the pandemic he learned new things he can't wait to try this summer.
I'm new down here. I'm from New York, so I'm looking forward to just enjoying the summer down in Frederick and Maryland, period.
And one important aspect of this festival is the appreciation of family and the sense of community. Reporting in Frederick, Maryland, Anais Simmons, DC News Now.